Space, the final frontier. These are the JJ Abrams movies of Star Trek. Its mission? To piss off Star Wars fanboys, to spark argument over why Star Trek isn't lame, to boldly go where no filmmaker has gone before.
What are you doing?
Oh. An episode. Oh. Okay.
Well, anyways, I'm Sean.
I'm Aiden.
And we're the Pop Cult. Well, the sequel to the groundbreaking 2009 film Star Trek, which was directed by JJ Abrams, has now had a follow-up, which is Star Trek Into Darkness, released this year. It was a huge cinematic experience. I think you would agree. With huge, glorious shots of sexy aliens and of the Starship Enterprise. No, the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, I get it. Enter thighs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yep.
I'm gay. No. I'm a huge Trekker now.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Trekker. Is it Trekker or Trekkie?
Trekkie.
Trekker.
Trekker.
Because they did say Trekker.
Yeah,
in fanboys. But after the 2009 film, I became open to the concept of Star Trek. I let it into my life because I was usually like, Star Trek, was it?
Yeah.
Like when I first associated Star Trek, I associated with this.
Yeah, well, the 2009 film really did broaden people's eyes up to the series of Star Trek. Well, not just the TV show, but like that film showed what Star Trek could be.
Yeah.
Cinematically and awesomely.
Yeah, and awesome being the underlined word. It's like from what we thought was like, oh yeah, Star Trek into Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely on the same par with Star Wars now.
Oh,
anything,
I think now, because I was at a point in my life where I was evaluating both franchises and saying, I know I can keep the charade up for Star Wars and Star Trek, being a lover for both, but something's got to give. And I think when Disney bought Star Wars, that was the final nail in the coffin. I think I was just like, I can't do Star Wars anymore. They've sold out so much, and I just don't think that it's as vibrant as what Star Trek is now. Yeah. Because now it's just full-on amazing cinematic shots, and just like the amount of colorful universe palettes that they put into this franchise is just amazing. They've just totally reinvented it. I think it's great. I love that in a franchise. I'm a huge fan of Star Trek, but after this movie, would you consider yourself kind of more into Star Trek than you would in Star Wars? Yeah,
definitely. There hasn't been a Star Wars movie in a while, you know, and well, Disney have acquired the rights for it and all, but you got JJ Abrams directing the next Star Wars, so it's like. But this film, Star Trek Into Darkness, was just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It was just so awesome.
Yeah.
Everything about it, there's a twist in it. We won't give it away or anything. But that twist was really great. Probably not as good as the Iron Man 3 twist, but still pretty good.
I mean, I have to say, there were two twists in it.
Yeah.
And there was the one that everyone found out about, which was, spoiler alert, Benedict Cumberbatch's character is Khan. And then there's the other twist that we won't mention.
Yeah.
But I thought that was fucking
that was
sick.
good.
I thought that was like, wow. In actual fact, this is like the opposite of like spoiling it, because like the Khan one was just like, oh yeah, I'm this character, and it's like, oh well, to all those fans out there know what he's talking about, and it's like, oh well, that's kind of. But with the other twist, that was more large scale, and it like, it was.
They definitely like
nail biting.
Changed. Like they like Star Trek Into Darkness got a lot of inspiration from Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan.
Yes, yeah.
And they changed a couple of things around while still staying true to the source. But yeah, like I think the start of the film, I kind of wasn't sure of where it was going. You know, like like with that like little girl. And then that weird planet.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I kind of don't know where this is heading, you know?
Yeah.
But then, it goes into this, like, separate area, and then it just stays there.
Yeah.
For, like, the second and third act.
Yes.
All that aside, I think the ending was a bit rushed. Do you know what I mean? Like, what happens with Benedict Cumberbatch's character? Like, I just... Spoiler alert, he's defeated, of course.
Yeah.
And then, like... He's just like put away, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a...
I thought that was really rushed.
I also thought it was kind of rushed as well, but also it being a movie of 2 hours and like 30 minutes or something, something like ridiculously kind of long.
They still could have, with that runtime, they could have done more.
Yeah, I do think that they could have done more. I think like the one big thing that kind of pissed me off was that kind of like a Benedict how like Benedict Cumberbatch was like kind of forgotten in like the last bit of the movie.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, after the big twist, his character isn't really important anymore, and I think his like character was just lingering through the story, just being like, oh yeah, he's here, and now he's here, and I think it was just like following him. But I mean, overall, that's kind of like the only real nitpicky thing. Yeah. I did think it was a little like kind of like his character was rushed in the end.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think
also there's also I think JJ Abrams listened to the fans this time and actually put a lot more Trekkie like shit into it, and like gave the fans what they wanted. You got your Klingons, you got the language.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that Alice Eve's character, the blonde woman.
Yeah.
That's actually Kirk's future wife.
Yes.
So that's, some fan stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't really think of any other stuff. Oh well, the twist.
Yeah.
So,
I also thought it was really brutal in some bits.
Like
what? I can't.
Yeah, that was just him like fighting people was brutal.
I also thought he's like. He was straight-faced throughout pretty much nearly the entire movie, but he also brought heaps of emotion into it, and I thought that was really hard.
I think that's the character though. He's supposed to be like this superhuman.
Yeah, and he
has no emotion.
Yeah, has no emotion, but then he like lets it into his life with his crew. And
one other thing, sorry to interrupt you.
No.
I thought like a lot of the other characters from the Enterprise actually like left out. Like, Sulu, he wasn't in it much at all.
Yeah,
Like, he gets into the chair at one point, but, that's what he did. Like, Simon Pegg's character, Scotty, he gets, like, spoiler alert, he gets, like, fired at the start of the movie.
Yeah, at the start of the movie.
And then...
Although, that's kind of, like, what they needed, because, like...
like, Uhura, she wasn't in it much either. She just, like, was in that part with the Klingons. And that was about it. That was like her main part.
I guess he wanted to make more runtime with Kirk and Spock, because, I mean, in the end... Spoiler alert.
It's just so hard not to spoil this movie.
Yeah. Like, Kirk dies.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was like... I thought that JJ Abrams just like did that whole emotional thing. I was just like, alright, now for the actual bit every like Star Trek fan wanted to see in the movie of Spock going, come on! Yeah. Because I thought that was just like, yep, okay, highlight of the movie, done.
Yeah, okay, but
what would you? All right.
Yeah.
Now we finally get to like the actual Judgment Day for it.
The bee's knees.
Bee's knees. What would you give this as an overall film?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a great movie. It's a good summer movie and everything. Like, but I wouldn't rate it really as highly, maybe as you would. But you know, I don't know. If
Yeah.
But I think I might give it like about 90%.
That's still pretty good.
It's
I mean,
good,
like,
yeah.
I mean, like, I went into the cinema with high hopes. I was like probably nearly untouchable. So maybe I'd get
my expectations were a little bit low, but it definitely did like surpass them. But not as much as I would have liked, you know.
Yeah. In bits in the trailer, I was just like, oh no, like the Enterprise falling into the goddamn, into Earth and killing all those people. And then in the movie, it was just like, no fucking lol jokes, not gonna happen. And then it was like, oh, okay.
So
yeah,
what would you give it?
I think I'd give it, I don't know, maybe a 92%.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
like, I thought that the first Star Trek was great because it was like, oh, what is this new kind of thing? It's new and it's exciting.
It's original,
Yeah, and then like when this came out, it was just like, okay, well I know where they're heading, but my expectations were too high, and I came in. It was still good, but it was still like it was still.
So pretty much it's like an average score, really. Definitely, definitely a must see.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, when this comes out on Blu-ray, I'm definitely buying this. I mean, it's like one of those movies where it's like visually acceptable. It's like you watch it and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely keeps your attention to it the whole way through.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Tune us in next time where we will be reviewing Evil Dead. Oh!